Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to decode hidden language, something you interact with literally every single second of every day. It's something that shapes your emotions, your decisions, and even your physical body. We are talking about the psychology of color. And we're about to show you how your brain is using it to, well, literally create the world you see around you. All right, let's just jump right in with a kind of wild thought. What if I told you that color isn't real? I mean, the red of your coffee mug, the green of the trees outside your window. What if I said none of that actually exists out there in the world? See, color isn't a property of an object. It's an experience that's created from scratch entirely inside your head. Yeah, you heard that right. Color perception is it's a magic trick your brain is performing constantly. Out there, in the real world, there are just objects bouncing different wavelengths of light around. That's it. Your brain grabs that raw data and translates it into this rich, vibrant, colorful experience we all live in. It's a total fabrication, but man, is it a brilliant one. And this whole thing, this incredible feat, happens in a flash. It's a super simple but really elegant 4-step process. So step 1, light hits an object, let's say an apple. Step 2, the wavelengths that we see as red bounce off that apple and into your retina. Step 3, these tiny specialized cells called cones, they're tuned for red, green, and blue. They fire off a bunch of signals. And finally, step 4, those signals get zipped straight to your brain to be figured. Okay, but here's where it gets really cool. Those signals, they don't just go to the part of your brain that handles vision. Nope, they've got a direct hotline to your hypothalamus. And that's like the ancient primal control center of your brain. It's the hub for your emotions, your hormones, your sleep, the whole shebang. And that deep brain connection is exactly why a color can make your heart race before you even consciously realize what you're looking at. All right, so let's see how this all plays out in the real world. We'll start with the most stimulating, the most powerful color our brain can process, red. Because it has such a long wavelength, red literally looks like it's coming towards you. It grabs your attention more than any other color. And our brains are basically hardwired by evolution to connect red with two super powerful and kind of contradictory forces, right? On the one hand, red is danger, it's blood, it's fire, it's a universal warning sign. But on the other hand, it's the color of survival. Think about it, ripe fruit, energy, life itself. And this deep biological response, well, it's used on us all the time. Seeing red can literally make your heartbeat faster and raise your blood pressure. That's why clearance sale signs are almost always bright red. It creates this sense of urgency. It's why fast food giants like McDonald's and Coke use it. It actually stimulates your appetite. And get this, even in sports, teams that wear red are often seen as more aggressive, more dominant. Okay, so if red is all about action and alarm, what's on the other side of the coin? Well, let's talk about the color that, in study after study, people all over the world say is their absolute favorite. Yep, we're talking about blue. And the reason why is pretty simple. It's baked into how we see the world. Red is urgent. It's fleeting. But blue? Blue is the color of things that are always there. The sky, the ocean. They're constants. So our brains have learned to connect that stability with feelings of calm, reliability, and trust. And this leads to what's often called the corporate blue effect. Just looking at the color blue can trigger calming chemicals in your brain. It can actually lower your body temperature and your pulse. It's no wonder that so many banks, big tech companies like Intel, and social media sites like Facebook, they all use blue. They're sending a signal, loud and clear. We are logical. We are dependable. You can trust us. Okay, so we've seen how one color can make you trust a brand. But what happens when colors are mixed and matched on purpose? Not just for a logo, but to directly influence your decisions every single day, especially when you pull out your wallet. Seriously, think about the last thing you bought. Did you think about the color? Well, research shows that a whopping 85% of us say that color is the #1 reason we buy a certain product. That's huge. It's more important than how it feels, smells, or even sounds. So to get us to buy, marketers often cook up a kind of psychological recipe. They combine the effects of different colors to get just the right emotional reaction. So, for instance, what do you think happens when you take all that energy and urgency from red and you mix it with the friendly, happy vibes of yellow, which, by the way, is the very first color our eyes are drawn to? Well, you get orange. It's the perfect mix. It's not as aggressive and alarming as red, but it's way more action-packed than yellow. And that's why it's the perfect color for a buy now button. It nudges you to make a quick, confident, gut-level decision without setting off any mental alarm bells. But, and this is a big but, here's where things get even more complicated. While those gut reactions to colors like red and blue are pretty much hardwired into all of us, the meanings we give to colors? Oh, that's all about culture. A color that means one thing here might mean something totally different on the other side of the world. Just check this out. In the West, we see white and think purity, weddings, happy stuff. But in many Eastern cultures, white is the color of mourning. It's for funerals. Or how about yellow? For us, it's sunshine and happiness. But in Egypt, it can also be a color of mourning. And in Japan, it stands for courage. It's the exact same wavelength of light hitting your eye, but the story your culture tells you about it is completely different. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it's that you now have the key to a hidden code. You've basically got a new filter for seeing the world, one that lets you see all the invisible forces that are shaping how you feel and what you do every single day. Think about it. From the apps on your phone to the paint on your office walls, from those clearance signs to the logos of the brands you trust, you can now see the world not just for what it is, but for what your brain is telling you it is. Every color you see is part of a story. So now that you know the language, how are you going to see that story differently?